right after winning his, his cap as well on GP Luffy and trying a completely new deck.
And then he
Again,
ends up in the
Asmir.
mirror match.
Yep. I think Asmir actually played Lucci on the Chinois Cup for the case as well, so I think he probably has a bit more mileage than ON1 on this one.
Yeah, I've seen him play Lucci a lot. I think that's his main
Yeah.
deck.
Okay, it's a quick keep for him.
It
Probably
looks
got
like
got all the.
he just built his Lucci deck because there's still some like cards on the left of his mouse.
Yep, I can
just
absolutely
this
confirm
deciding
that's the case.
deciding what's the list.
Yeah, he was leaving it this morning. I think he's played a bit of it on Sim, but that's about it. And the list is somewhat experimental, so we'll see how that performs today. Oh, okay, there's a bit of reflection. Cool. Huh, that is an interesting choice.
Uta. I could just
Yeah,
get broke
it does
away, which is
pretty much.
risky,
Yeah,
which seems to
yeah. I don't
happen.
think. Yep, there we go.
Maybe he has a
That's
second one
gonna cost him.
and just said fuck it.
Mm. It is possible. In the end, it's a breaking hand. So like setting it up, and there's also times where Brook is not there. So I guess you get to punish a bit, but it's a lot better if they could play something relevant. 'Cause even when killing, like if that Brook is not there, there's not gonna be anything worth killing. So
Yeah, Kuzan is strong.
yeah, definitely the best play you can do on 4, but I'm assuming Asmir probably has a Hina ready. Or could attack, try to get a Hina in trash. So far in trash there's a Finger Pistol,
And
expanding and another Rook.
oh, he
Oh
triggered away the
wow!
brook. Maybe Kuzan sticks.
Hibiscus and sticks now. Yep, that's a good skill to have. I don't think Asmir was ready for that kind of trigger.
Yeah, maybe he needed a
Just
leader reduction. Maybe he wanted to play something else that's not Tina.
yeah, maybe it was a Rebecca Suru play or okay.
Yeah, that works too.
Oh wow.
It's a bit expensive
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, and now none of them has setup, so there is that.
The Husu is a bit annoying though. He keeps poking 5 and he's a 5 cost to remove.
Yeah, but also when it pokes 5, it does get to 8 to 5 and give you starving a bit more. I think for the next couple of turns, the mirror is going to be a lot about hand size. So it's going to be a bit difficult for them to navigate. Still, it's a good body to have there. And it's, as you mentioned, quite annoying to remove. Mhm. Oh, that's also the Lucci SP on the right hand side, even though we can barely see it with the reflection. I know he managed to get a good deal on it. So it's alt art against SP.
Yeah, I think the SP is much better. I don't like the Lucia.
You like the buff Lucci. I don't know. I do kind of dig the leaders from that set, like having their context behind them and all that. Bonnie looks great, but yeah, I can see how this Lucci does look somewhat weird, a bit.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
CG generated.
I like the SPs.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Like
play
simple and
SP
clean.
Lucia for
Oh, just
the
developing
tempo
board.
play.
I mean, it's not like the deck has that much to do on 6 if you're not removing. But I sure think he would wish that to be a Sabo instead. 7 then
Anything but
turn.
Lucia.
Yeah, 7 then turn. Yeah, that's I5 Jack would be probably the best play here.
Yeah, Jack would be very strong. To force your opponent to either maybe swing big at it, which is not that great,
Time look. Yep.
or try to remove it. And that seems unlikely. With no setup.
Doesn't seem like it's a Jack turn, otherwise it would have been a bit easier. Okay, so on 5 he might do the Sabo play then.
Or I would like 7 now if he can. Depends on what he wants to do, but 7 now would be punishing for the other Lucci because he took the 6.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because going down to 1 is a bit risky, even in the Lucci mirror.
yeah. No, definitely. It's not easy to keep the blockers up. He doesn't have enough pressure to actually just like Rebecca sabo his way out of the game. So, okay, there's something interest. Ooh, here comes the sabo. Maybe a Manchari play. When that match done, probably Manchari pasa for a drop. It makes sense to develop have a force blocker. Still kind of wanna kill that Lucci, but
Yeah, I think he started
it is.
6 to threaten the 7 maybe. The opponent respects this.
Mhm.
And now he has
Oh,
Uta into probably Lucci or
Rebecca
Brook.
broke.
Lucci or Brook, yeah.
That's the Rebecca broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very annoying game
Uh,
state.
yeah, I don't think there's many ways to get out of this. Because it's gonna be expensive resource-wise. I guess the Sabo could do the trick somehow. Get rid of both Brook and the Who's Who. But with
Yeah, but
Uta there.
then the Uta sticks and probably gets rid of the Sabo.
It might be a case of actually removing Uta and Brook instead.
Yeah, and
Starting
then
with a swing at
then
Brook.
you have the problem of who's sticking the other turn poking at your hand.
hmm
Yeah, probably 5 into Brook, I would assume.
Okay, that's Hina and Zuru. Yeah, yeah, the block to protect the Brook. It's interesting. And
Yes, 8 done. Maybe it is the Sabo.
yeah, that's the Sabo play. Yeah, I think it's one of the
He
ones that
pushed his
keeps
6
you
there.
somewhat alive.
Yeah, but what do you choose?
I
Yeah,
do think it's. Ooh,
yeah, maybe the
I
Uta
think I
would be
removed
better.
Daruta. I think I removed Daruta. Like the any Hina, like Rebecca Hina Brook now can remove the Sabo and pretty much close the game,
But
which
removing
is
who's
gonna
who
be.
isn't bad either. You start
No.
underestimating how many bodies Lucci puts on the board, especially when he plays Rebecca in a Lucci. Then having cleared the who's who to have more cards in hand isn't bad.
That is true.
But yeah, now the Sabo
Okay,
is
there's
basically a 6
6.
6 cost on board, 5 cost after leader, which
Yeah,
shouldn't be
which
too hard.
means Hina Brook.
Yeah, or any Tempest play or whatever. Yeah, but it looks like Rebecca in a
Ooh.
Lucci or something.
Mhm.
Oh, he takes it.
That is rough. That is rough. Ooh, Laboon.
Yeah, Laboon works too.
Laboon and back to Rebecca. No, Laboon Lucci. That is some pressure too. And ON1 seems to be a bit bricked as well because I don't think he'd take that 6 unless he really has to. So probably not.
I don't think you would want to take the 6 because like now you have 2 bodies established, and
Mm-hmm.
then if one of them sticks, suddenly lethal pressure is pretty high. Or just he has to like if like one of the bodies sticks, just a random 7 he still has to defend.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think this is looking fairly grim. I'm trying to think content on what else there's a play that could work out. You can wipe the board with some ease. But I think you rely on basically swinging into the laboon. Mm, Work introduction. I'm assuming on Lucci. I'm kind of impressed with how relevant Utak becomes on the mirror because it is not that difficult to be on like one or two bodies and that's it. So it, even though it's a two cost and it can be removed like by any Lucci play, it's doing some work. Mm. Okay, that's likely a spanding play. By the way, he's done our setup, so it could be something. Spandi Lucci and a big swing into Laboon.
Yeah, that Uta is gonna make problems because it's stuck on the board.
Yeah. Well, if you Lucci her, you can get rid of Lucci and Uta, and then just swing an 18 to Laboon, requiring a lot of hand size from Asmir, who's kind of low because he's not been attacked that much.
Yeah, I think he has
So,
2 life, 3 life. I think it's 3 life.
yeah, 3 life for cutting hand. Okay, so we are going 8 at Laboon, I'm assuming. And that got rid of Rebecca and another sir. That is helpful, actually. Um, 7 cards in hand, 8.
I gave to
Ooh,
2Ks even. Well, it's probably
yeah.
not bad. Means he has an
No,
answer for next turn and maybe can pressure a bit.
that's yeah. He could pretty much go for it. I think if you hit a 9 on this spot, unless there's like a lot of board presence, probably makes sense.
Ooh.
Yeah, spanning into Lucci.
Yeah, but not having a Rebecca also hurts a bit.
Mm-hmm. Uh, we'll return in one jack. I'm guessing there's probably some more there. Yeah, that's gone.
Oh, and the brook.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay, that's 3 cards in hand.
And with Labuna on board, he has a great setup to clear both of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
then if
just
and if he has Rebecca,
leaving
he
the
can go
span.
wide.
It's true, but I do think if there was a Rebecca, we probably would have seen it the previous turn. Well, I'm not sure if they have no, ooh, we're
Oh, he
going
goes
for it.
9.
Yep.
9-11.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's actually quite likely given the counter is good hand reading.
Yeah, he took some
Yep.
very
Questionable.
early hits. Oh yes, yeah, he has a bunch of bricks in hand.
Yep, that's game.
But if
Yeah,
he has
that's
the counter, like if he has clean counter for this, you probably just lose the game. But he has had no choice with the amount of cards in
yeah.
hand. If he doesn't have the removal, probably was thinking about this play when he was countering out of the Laboon swing.
Yeah, I don't think if there wasn't access to another Lucci, I don't think this was necessary. But also, like, I probably have even like tried a 7. Um, the problem is that you don't want to rest the Laboon unless you have to commit to it. So yeah,
I mean, if you
good
try a 7 and
hand
it
reading.
gets countered, but you have no like follow up play, then it's a bit rough. So maybe he had to go
Mhm.
for it.
He was relatively safe anyways. I'm not sure he would win, like lose the game if he goes down to 0. Unless there were some Rebecca shenanigans. But if there was a Rebecca, that previous turn would have been a 7 swing into Laboon rather than an 8 and a Rebecca broke or a
Yeah.
Rebecca up to pretty much anything. So at least the blockering up wasn't likely, I guess.
I mean, you could top deck it, you could find Morchery. Maybe if he plays it, maybe he has some of the Shiroshi blockers in deck as well that he has on his mat. So yeah, there's
Mhm.
some things, and he took one more life, so maybe that life would have been the blocker.
Yeah, no, I'm not unhappy with that going for Littleton. I think
Yeah, for sure.
even in the cases where he saves the swing at the end, you're not in that a terrible spot because he's at 0 and you're at 3, and the bodies on board are not very relevant. So like the lethal back is unlikely. And if they counter the 9, you can always just go at the Lucci, get rid of it, and kind of try again. You're definitely in a worse spot, but the risk is not as huge as the reward. Okay, so keep from ON1 and mulligan from Asmir. The same or don't get access to like seeing their hands properly because I think here a lot of the game is about the amount of bricks
Yeah,
on the player's hand. Um,
I think he
and
died
we
with
can.
like 2 Tenkos Kuzans in hand last game.
Yeah, and I did see at least 2 regular ones as well. So I think out of the 7 cards, only 3 had counter. Yeah, tricky things. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Asmir gets to go first as a reward for winning the game. So we will see. I actually have access to Alan's list. Let me see if there's anything spicy that could happen here.
I mean, maybe he plays Uta again and just prays it doesn't get answered. But now he plays Tempest Kick, cycling cards, which is surprising because he kept his hand.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I think it might have been a greedy keep.
yeah, maybe because if he kept his
You know,
hand there, he was probably not looking for more plays. So cycling
no.
the Tempest could punish him later on. Yeah, looks like Kuzan.
Yeah, that's the Kusan play. I guess that's pretty much good enough to keep on the mirror. And there's no Brook set up this time, so it's gonna be a bit harder to actually get rid of it. Or more
For sure.
expensive.
Maybe it's Susu again, but that's expensive.
Yeah. No.
Okay, maybe his own Kuzan. Or the Tempest Kick that he just milled.
Tempest. Tempest wouldn't work quite yet, but yeah,
The
Kusan.
the finger
Oh yeah,
pistol
yeah, I know
event,
what you
not
mean.
the Tempest.
Yes.
Not the Tempest. Yeah. Or Erdor.
No,
Yeah, not playing Erdor.
I don't think either of them are.
Yeah,
Uh
we would have seen it by now. Just
oh,
mentioning it
Alan is
because it's
playing.
funny.
Mhm. He's playing a full set of Suru, which does seem a bit overkill. Uh,
I mean, if you don't play the Searcher, then maybe.
yeah, that's fair enough. Now it's an interesting decision time. See if he has. Oh, okay, we're gonna.
Okay, he chose to not rest his Kuzan and use Uta to clear the opponent's Kuzan,
Mhm.
which is fine, I
Yeah,
think.
I think it's alright, but it's now there are decisions, I guess. But we are on 7 dons, so Hina Lucci plus leader ability wipes both Brook and Kusen, or Uta and Kusen.
Yeah, he
So
keeps
it might have
something
been
off his
worth
board.
poking one. Hmm.
I assume maybe he does it because he doesn't want to get hit with Jack. Because Jack now, yeah, clears only one of those. Probably Kuzan.
Mhm.
Yeah, now he
Yeah,
has an okay setup. Yeah, but Kuzan needs to go. Otherwise, that
yeah,
Jack is in range to be cleared.
pretty much. And now it's combat range. Ah, 3 life, around 6 in hand. It might be a swing at Jack turn here.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Either
No, I
gets
think
rid
it's.
of the Jack, because that's probably like your only turn will have time to get rid of the Jack. Because if you don't clear it
Or,
now, it's gonna be on the board for the entire game.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Asmir's
the second
entire hand.
Rebecca. That's just the board. I think it's basically give me the jack or give me three cards in hand. And a lot of them have to be like give me three 2Ks basically, right? We were talking about the 15 swing into the 8s, so 6K counter needed, which is
No, it's not 15. He has 8 done, so it's 13.
13. Yeah, 13 into the
Yeah,
8.
yeah,
Sorry, I thought I had said 13. So
yeah,
6K counter needed.
yeah. That's a lot, but it would probably worth it if you have three 2Ks in hand. If you can
Yeah.
combo out of it clean, probably
Hmm.
still worth it.
Yeah, he's not close enough to lethal either, so I think it's his only real play. I mean, I guess you could like double Hina and then hit with Brook, but that seems super expensive too. I guess we're not doing that. I can see one Hina. Maybe there's double Hina. Not a bad play.
And if he gets rid
That's a
of
lot
it,
of pressure.
that's good too.
Yeah, it's on 10 now, right? So two Hinas. Oh, it wouldn't. Yeah, with Uta it would be right enough.
Or he prefers just going wide, but
But
oh yeah,
oh, he's just going wide.
maybe he has two Kuzans in hand.
I
Oh,
do
he has
not hate
Laboon.
that either. That I like less.
It's fine, I guess. But
I might have swung with Uta at live. He's on two, right? So a seven swing rather than the Laboon might have been a bit better.
yeah, it would also be good.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure though. Jack is very decisive on these situations. Uh,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
problem with Jack is just the removal options you have now are almost unlimited, especially if you have all Tempest Kick in hand. And then later on, because the body is gonna stick on the board, like lethal is very close.
Mhm.
Because you have that 8k sitting on your board forever.
Yeah, and sometimes even if you cannot reduce everything and do Lucha strings, you can still use Jack with a Dawn and just go 9 and a 5, which is effectively the same thing,
Yeah.
even if it's a 5 cost. So,
But even like Rebecca,
okay.
Hina, Lucci, and a Jack ability
Mhm.
is almost game winning.
That's 3, 4, 2. Manchery goes away, and so does Guzan. Yep. Hi, though. That is interesting. I thought we were past the fad, but I guess some people still respect Blackbeard.
It's not a
And
bad card
actually,
in general, but yeah.
no, it's not. It's decent. It's even advantage. It just feels a bit slow for GP
Yeah, that's for sure. Oh, he plays Kuzan himself.
and Sabo. Oh no,
Oh,
Rebecca.
he did Tempest, so
True.
yeah, he could
So,
still
ooh,
get rid of Laboon and Uta, I guess. Or if he
yeah.
reduced the Brook, then he could also get rid of Brook and Laboon. Oh no, he used leader on
We
the
reduce the
Kuzan. Yeah,
Kusan, yeah,
yeah, then Kuzan.
yeah,
So no, he will get rid of Uta and
two reducers. Yep,
Laboon.
which is it's actually a lot better now because you don't get to do any stupid plays with Sabo because you don't have reduction. You just have
Yeah,
one
that's a rough spot
Brook.
for him now with only Brook against this
Yeah.
board.
Tensan could do some interesting stuff. Not quite as good as you wanted to, but you can definitely wipe a lot of things off the board.
That Jack is just gonna win him the
You
game.
could. Mhm. He's running two Tenkoskus and he's running a tech card that could actually work out right now, although I'm not a fan.
Tenkos Kaido?
Um,
Yeah, Tenkos Kaido.
no, Gangnam Bell.
Oh, he's running Bell. Yeah, if he had Bell last turn, then the Jack was in reach. But like Bell now, you
Yeah.
get rid of, I guess, Jack and maybe something else, then there's still a bunch of characters on the board.
Okay, so it was the Tensan play that got rid of. Oh,
Yeah. Now the Brook, this makes some, this get in some work, but even the Tenzan on board is not safe with Jack already established.
did Brook swing at air? It didn't swing at Spandin? I didn't see any
Yeah, maybe
counter
there's
draw
no
for that,
span.
right?
Yeah, maybe there's no span then in the trash
Mhm.
of Asmir, so
Oh,
it swung
true.
at air.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Okay.
he only leads like -6, which is not too bad.
Hmm. Yeah. Houston is well, that Brook is dead, but it's basically a 5, which is more manageable. That needs to go. Houston is down to 9.
I even plays Toshigi, so he really respected Teach.
And Shirahoshi. It seems quite close to the older lists before
Uh,
EVO 2.
I like Shirashi, especially in like a list that plays Jack, because now you could play
Hmm.
Rebecca into, I guess if you have a Hina in hand, play that Hina, play the Shirashi from that you grab with Rebecca, and then you have
Yeah.
like -8 and 2 blocker.
Yeah, that's fair. It's playing extra copies of Rebecca pretty much. A bit
Yeah,
weaker, but
yeah, I played on Rebecca, on my Rebecca deck,
mm,
because I'm playing Jack there.
yeah, that's fair. And you do get to record them, so yeah.
Yeah, and he just pistols it.
Ooh.
Also, he can swing with Jack if he wants to, which just makes sense. Although
Hmm.
you're not gonna.
Yep.
I mean, you could also cycle away the Brook.
Yep. I think I like the swing a bit better, but
Mm.
yeah, that just seals a lot of the options.
Yeah, it depends on what
He
he
still
has in
has
hand.
he still has a healthy hand, and they're both on 2.
Yeah,
I
for Lucci, that
just
could still mean like a 7 card hand could be 5 bricks,
hmm.
and then 5/5 would be annoying already.
That looks like 6 cards in hands. 9 for Asmir, if I haven't counted wrong. Okay, so the Tensan play is over. Hmm. Yeah, that Jack is gonna stay there and steal the game. Jack play from ON1 wouldn't really amount to much right now. Because even Hina Jack doesn't clear Jack. Uh,
Yeah, I feel like that Jack is out of the picture unless he has like 3 Tempest Kick in his hand.
there is one Stasi on the list, but that would basically mean spending Atsuru
Yeah, or
to play
Stassi, kill
Stasi.
it safe.
Yeah.
If that even
Which
works.
I would do, like if I'm given the choice, I 100% swing into that Spandin, see if I hit 2 cards,
Mm.
and do that. But ugh.
He goes for Tempest, which means he probably wants to get rid of Jack or just cycle a card because he probably doesn't need a
Mhm.
reduction for Hina. I mean, unless he wants to brook it, then he does.
Yeah, I guess Lucci So you could swing into Jack for 10 and Lucci now and get rid of the other two bodies. I think that 10 is killing it though, but it's not a bad play.
Yeah, 10 doesn't hurt as much on on Asmir's hand. He still has like a bunch of cards. But it could be
Yeah, he
all
has 9.
bricks. Could be all bricks.
It's happened to me before. I died with 9 cards and 1K counter. That happens sometimes. But if it does, it wouldn't mean he's any farther from winning the game though, because the bricks are the powerful ones. So okay.
Yeah, dices would be great. Dices would be great.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I think at least I'm gonna try and do that. I might do it on my side of the table when I play Lucci and just like place the dice in front of each one of them.
Yeah. Okay, gave him the card.
Okay.
He has -4 on the jack if he wants to remove it, if that's the target he chose with Tempest and his leader.
Yeah. So we're back to a 7 cost Jack.
Yeah, which
Hina would get it down to 2, right? So Rebecca, Hina, Lucci
no, Hina
will
would
wipe it.
no, it's 7 now, so Hina would get it down to
Oh, 3.
3.
Oh, yeah, he's missing a bit.
But he has one more done, so technically he could still use another Tempest, Tsuru or something.
Yeah. So, mm, if it's Suru, it probably.
It is a
That's
card
a
that we
Rebecca.
we don't know which card it is. Is that a
That
Rebecca?
is a Rebecca. Yeah, he only had 2. He's just realized he doesn't know where 2 of his Rebeccas are, so he was playing 2 Shirahoshish, and that's why those are uh, on the corner. Uh, yeah. So
Okay.
Rebecca, just swap it for the real Rebecca there. Come on. Yeah, it does look like a Rebecca getting Lucci playing at Suru or grabbing Brook actually. Yeah, I guess he's in Brook range with with a 1 cost. So we're in 7 now. Will be 3 with Hina. On to 1 with the Suru. If it's another Tempest kick, which I doubt, he could have wiped Hina as well. Oh, that's a Khalifa. Okay. Yeah, Rebecca Hina.
Yeah, so
We are
now
on 3
check.
cost.
Check is a 3. Yeah, maybe a Suru. Yeah.
Yeah. And here comes Lucci. Oh, that is a board presence as well.
Yeah. Check being gone is very important.
Mm-hmm.
But given Asmir's hand size, he's probably just gonna get rid of it all. Unlikely that it's gonna
Yeah.
stick.
Yeah. It's kind of nice going back to the good old Rebecca Hina Lucci wars. Uh, brings me back to Sakazuki days. Doesn't it make you a bit jealous? Definitely not as cool without the blue cards and the greater options, but still quite enjoyable. Okay, another poke. We take this one. Oof. Yep. That will break the Rebecca Hina Lucci wars for you.
Yeah, every time I see Moshiri, I get flashbacks of OP5. I miss Sakazuki.
Mm.
I miss him.
I know. This just feels like Sakazuki Wars all over.
Yeah, Hina. And then play Lucci from hand.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be replacing that Spandin that will probably come back next turn with a lot of power. Okay, so that Lucy is going away, that
Why
Hina
is
is going away.
that's interesting. Why would you play it over?
Oh, huh.
I
Well, I
guess
guess
the
there's a
Zuru.
suit
The
there.
Zuru swings at it anyway, so I guess yeah, it makes sense keeping the body on
Might
the
as well
board.
keep a body. Yeah.
If there wasn't a Zuru, maybe. Yeah, if there wasn't a Zuru on board, he would have probably played over Spandine.
Yeah.
But now it
Yeah, that does make
presents a
sense.
body that can swing.
Hmm. I think I kind of give a 1K for that Manchuri though.
Uh,
And if they commit some Dawn,
I guess yeah, with
I'm
the
cool
amount
with
of
that.
cards he has on hand, he could. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if they're committing Dawn to kill that and you have a healthy hand, um, yeah, just bait them, make them actually attack with Leader. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder where that's going.
Yeah, but I mean, if you force the attack with leader into it, you're also just giving a 1k. So it dies and you give a 1k
Mhm.
in both situations, but you lose the Spandine. So I
Oh,
guess,
but you get to block, right? With Rebecca, the leader thing, if you really want to.
yeah, that you could do. Now he has his own
Mm.
Marshally.
Yeah,
I like how he
Mansory
has so
Rebecca,
many
fake
so many
Rebecca.
AAs in his deck, but didn't find another Rebecca.
Yeah. He was genuinely just like texting me and sending me some pictures like, oh, it feels so nice to like get all of the AAs. And I, dude, I don't own for Rebecca. Okay,
So nostalgic. Marshally into Hina.
I know.
And then you even
Rebecca
have the
Hinanich.
-1 on your leader too.
Mm-hmm. It's good old times, isn't it?
Yeah, so you reduce your opponent's Hina with leader, Hina on his Lucci, and remove both of your own Lucci. And then the same thing
Mm-hmm.
happens again and again and again until someone runs out of options.
Rebecca's or Mancheries.
Yeah. But there is no cheesy Great Eruption home place on the Rebecca blocker and go for game here.
No, no, not anymore. Unless you're running those bad places like the Luffy deck.
Yeah. This that's home place at home.
Yeah, I don't even know its full name. I know it has Diablo Jambe Gam Gam and Ashura style on it. It's about 3 lines of text. Uh, yeah, I kind of want to play that deck just to be able to keep playing Hound Blazes. I miss Hound Blaze so much.
KO is just so much worse than bottom
Mhm.
decking.
Yeah.
Okay, you blocks.
Hmm.
Oh, another Jack.
Now it goes Lucci. Look at that instant killer Rebecca getting rid of Manchery.
Yeah, that Jack's gonna do work again.
Hmm.
Oh, he just scoops. Yeah,
Yeah,
that also
that's the
works.
game.
Yeah,
No play.
yes, is it Khalifa? Yeah, Hina Khalifa and
Uh,
pistol.
yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, he ran out of the resources.
Gum Gum Diables, Three Sword Style, Mutant, Jet 600.